To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Main Gate Magic. It is Tuesday, June 17th, as I look down on the right-hand corner of my computer just to make sure I'm getting the date correct. How's everybody doing? I got some fun returning faces to the crowd. We've got Kevin, Amanda, and Kim from Where in the Park. My co-hosts, unfortunately, were not able to join today, but I'm so happy to see you guys here. How are you all doing?
Doing great.
Doing awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And I couldn't help but notice, obviously, before we started the show that Kevin and Amanda are wearing some amazing looking merchandise on them.
Isn't it awesome?
Those t-shirts are incredible. Where did you get them from?
Oh my gosh. You'll never believe it. This amazing website with Main Gate Magic and Jason Braden created these fabulous designs and more. We just picked up these pirate ones because we're going to be going on a Disney cruise, our first ever Disney cruise in September, and they're going to have a pirate night. So of course,
oh no way,
we had to get some pirate themed shirts. Main Gate Magic.
Yep. That is so awesome. I am so glad that you guys wore those because I haven't promoted my t-shirt, or actually I'm going to call it my merchandise site, because if you go to tpublic.com and you do a search for main, I think it's main-gate-magic, and you look up the artist, it'll show you all the different designs that we have. But you don't have to just get t-shirts. You can get like tank tops, you can get jackets, you can get hoodies, you can get hats. And I think they even you can get like a pillow or a phone case, pretty much anything. There's like so many different designs that you can choose from, and so many different types of accessories to pick as well. So I'm actually gonna, since we're on the topic now and I haven't promoted it in a while, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we're gonna show the folks that are watching. For those who are listening, you're gonna have to come back and watch this later. But if you go to tpublic.com up here, and I think if you search for main-gate-magic and you search for the artist, it does not show my stuff.
Is it still on there? I don't even know.
Well, I mean, I hope so, because I actually just sold a shirt recently, unless I'm doing the search incorrectly. Maybe it's underscores. There it is. Okay. There's me. We don't need to spin the wheel.
You have to spell
There's all the different designs. Yeah. You got a Winnie the Pooh one. This one actually just sold recently, and it looks like there's a sale going on right now, guys. So if you actually want to go and buy something for only $15, you can buy shirts with all of these wonderfully amazing designs. I have quite a few of them, actually. I got the Churro Ride Repeat. I've got Phenomenal Cosmic Powers, Itty Bitty Living Space. It's one of my favorites. Of course, get the EAC, dude. Rip it, roll it, and punch it. And Bruce's Intervention Service, bring a chum, fish or friends, not food. So there's this one. These ones are, and I'm hoping more to come. I've just been kind of having a little bit of design blockage. So take your pick, and then once you got your design picked, you can go down here and where it says more Oh Bother products. This is just the name of the design. You can choose all these different amazing things, and you can click accessories. There's stickers, hats, purse or tote bags, buttons, all sorts of fun things. Even kids apparel, adult apparel, and home goods. Have a coffee cup, why don't you? So anyway, tpublic.com.
You can also change the color of the background too.
Yes, that is correct.
Different colors than what they're showing as the examples there. So
there are many different colors available. Yep, like you can choose a pink one if you want to. You can do a blue one. You can do a black one. There's many different choices. So check it out, folks, and thanks for shopping at the Main Gate Magic Store on tpublic.com. Available now. Thank you so much. All right. I was telling you guys earlier, I have absolutely no agenda, no actual planned conversations except for just some amazing park updates. Talking about you guys, of course, about where in the park and what you guys do. And I had also planned some trivia for tonight because it seems to be kind of like a running thing that we have on this show now. And we are going to be doing it with visuals this time. So I hope those who are watching are prepared because I actually have multiple choice, but it's all going to be on screen now instead of just a little tiny scrolling thing at the bottom. So before we get into everything, let's find out who we got in our audience today. We've got our friend Patricia in the house. She says, hey, everyone. Good to have you on the show again, Patricia. And we got Signs of Amusement. Jason is in the house. He says, I know you guys. I know a guy you makes an awesome Lafitte's Jason's saying, I know a guy who can make an awesome Lafitte's Landing sign because he does his own signs as well. And they are pretty amazing. And he's reached out to you guys recently to be on his show, hasn't he?
Yeah, we're all set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm so glad you guys did. That's awesome. And Expedition Steve is on. He says, no Jar Jar, JB? No Jar Jar, Steve. Steve is funny because he absolutely hates Jar Jar, as we've talked about on the show before. He's got a vendetta. So if you guys are in the chat and you haven't said hello or you want to ask the team at Where in the Park any questions about their recent adventures or what they do, please feel free to drop a chat or just say hello and share the magic. So let's get down to it. So let's have a refresher. It's been a while since we've had you guys on the show. What is Where in the Park? Don't everybody go all at once. Pick a person, tell us what you do, and what is your latest adventure? Where have you guys been? Yeah. Amanda's pointing at Kevin. Kevin's pointing at yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are Where in the Park, and we create self-paced seek and find games to explore your favorite theme park. So we provide a deck of cards. Each card has an image on it, and that image is found somewhere in the park. The question is, where in the park? So the details that you are discovering are just anywhere that you are walking around, anywhere guests are allowed. So it's not going to be inside shops, in lines for rides, and restaurants, definitely not in any bathrooms, just as you are walking around the park. So it is a great way to experience the park in a brand new way and discover the details. There's a lot of details that we often walk right past. And so this is a way to do something different and just appreciate the park for, all of the details and work that the Imagineers put into it. So,
and this is an example of one of the cards. I know you probably have tons of them, but here's one that I picked out of this package for Animal Kingdom, I think. And then on the back side of it, there is a scratch off thing that says a hint at the top. It's hard. I don't know if you can see it there. A hint at the top, and then there's the answer right below. Now, is that still what you guys do on the cards?
Jason has one of our packs. We actually updated those to QR codes instead. Because
glad I asked.
The things that we learned that with these theme parks, they change so often that sometimes our hints kind of lead you to the area, right? But the areas change, and sometimes our hints reference things that kind of disappeared or changed. So we have it where now you scan a QR code so we can update the hint to be more accurate instead of having to worry about the scratch or having something kind of static. But with that, we also now give you another button in there where when you go to the page, you can choose to see either the hint or the land that it's in or the answer. So you have an extra little bonus hint there as well with the land.
That's helpful because these are not. These aren't easy. Unless you are a diehard fan of any of the parks you go to, these are not like the easiest things in the world. How can you it's kind of, I don't know if you can let me turn the light off on this thing. There we go. So that is not an easy thing. Like where in the head, do you know where this is, like off the top of your head?
Yes.
You know where it's at.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you do because you guys take the pictures, but
the funny thing about the games is that once you've actually experienced a pack, you're going to know where all of them are too. Like whenever anyone else shows you like where there's like, oh, I remember when I found that one. You'll have that feeling of I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
So it's
And every
definitely fun because it
time,
helps you to really appreciate everything.
Right.
yeah. And every time we are walking around the parks, because we are aware of these details and we're honoring them in this way, every time I walk through the parks, we're always checking to make sure that the details are still there. And it's that tip of the hat of I see you. I get it. You're there, and so many people walk past it every single day not knowing that it's there at all. So it's kind of that, like, I know something you don't.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did
I
you just
locked up.
disappear?
She
Can
froze.
you hear me?
She
No, I'm
froze.
here.
I can
You
We're
guys
on the
froze.
same Wi-Fi.
You froze.
That's very weird.
Too many people
Yeah.
streaming in the same house, apparently.
Apparently.
So
Guess
repeat
so.
that. Repeat what you last said, Amanda.
Oh, so it's just the tip of the hat of, in that insider knowledge of, I know something that most people don't. And the fact that you have a deeper understanding and a new experience that most people have not experienced. You're going on pretty much like a Where's Waldo or an I Spy
Yeah.
in the theme park. So it's a ton of fun, and you'll never see the park the same way again because you're training your eyes to see those details. And even if you're not playing, you're looking for other things that might be around you. So
And you guys
It
give
definitely
plenty.
enhances
I
your
mean,
experience.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's a
Oh, yeah.
lot. This is just from one pack. There's a
Mhm.
ton. Do you guys still do this many cards in every pack? How many are there?
We have 30 cards in our Series 1, and we have another 30 cards in our Series 2 pack. But we also have a mini game for people who want to just try out the game, but they're not sure if they're ready for that big stack yet. So the mini game has 8 cards instead of the 30.
Is it an evil mini game?
Yes.
No, and there's
The same
also
level of difficulty.
a scan before playing card that we ask you to scan first, because if there's any images that are behind walls, maybe there's construction or there's holiday decor, we'll give you a replacement card, so you will always have a full pack.
That is so cool. Yeah, because I mean, with as much stuff as Disney updates, like on a yearly basis, lately, like we're talking monthly basis, there could be scrim in front of whatever you guys took a picture of the last time that you were there. And I was able to actually go and meet you guys in Florida one time, and we kind of met up and we had dinner, and then you guys went and started taking pictures, and like your process is like, oh, this would be a good place, this would be a good place, and you take pictures of everything. How much of what you take pictures of actually gets into your packs, or are there some that you're just like, nah, never mind, I didn't really want to do that one?
Probably like 2% gets into the pack, I would guess.
2.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's a small percentage. Well, the thing is, we take pictures of everything because we want to have pictures where we can like spread out the pack against the entire park, right? But we also want to have it where if something does disappear for some reason, we do have that backup image ready. So yeah, so we go
Okay.
around taking photos of anything at all that looks interesting because you never know what is going to change in a theme park. Because we've been surprised by it where things that we think are going to be there for forever, just all of a sudden you walk past where it used to be. It's like, where did it
Where
go?
did this go? Right.
That was important to the story here. Why would you get rid of that? So it's
Yeah.
just little things like that. So we just because we used to be like when we first started, we were like really nitpicky, like, no, this one looks better. I already took a photo near here. Let's go over somewhere else. And then, after a while, something disappears. It's like, I have no replacement for this. So
Right.
we learned to just anything that looks at all interesting, take a photo. But because of that, we do have camera rolls and folders over here full of photos that we have not used for anything yet. But who knows down the road when we'll need to go back into that folder and pick it up.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine like how much memory you have in your cloud storage or your external hard drives or something like that's a lot of pictures.
Yes, we
Yeah.
definitely have a NAS drive over here full of these photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
like Kevin said, like it's not just creating the hints. Like we need to know the lay of the land to create the hints and the answers, but we also need those pictures to create the hints and answers for the replacement cards.
It's true.
So, like, we're in California, so we're not going to be able to make it to these parks all the time. So we need to have that reservoir handy so we can create the image and hint and answer, and then go out to our friends who are heading out there and say, hey, can you confirm that this is still there? Does this hint make sense? So it's a lot of work on the back end. And yes, we take thousands and thousands of pictures every time we're at a park, but it's well worth it.
That's so
And
awesome.
we needed that recently when they closed down the Muppet Courtyard. And, like, people posted on Instagram and Facebook where that wall is located. It's like, well, we know that we had, like, I think 5 images on the other side of that wall. So we went through and replaced every single one of those pictures has a new image that people will be able to play with. So even if they bought, like, if you, I think you have, actually, I don't think you got the Hollywood Studios. You weren't going there. But if you had a Hollywood Studios pack from a year or two ago, you can scan that scan before playing card, and it would give you the replacement for whichever cards are behind that wall. So that way you still have a full 30 pack right now.
And does that go to your website, or have you guys been able to develop an app yet, or is that still in progress?
It's still going to our website. We have everything all web-based right now. We actually have a few digital games that also work on your phone's browser, not through the App Store. It just makes it a little easier to, like, be across all phones and not worry about having to deal with all of the bureaucracy of Apple and Google. So
are you
for
still
now, we're doing it
developing
that
an
way.
app, though? Are you still
We
developing an
haven't.
app?
I'm still developing it in my head. I have not actually gone through step one on that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed, because that would be pretty cool. Is just because, then you could kind of, like, snap a picture and it could match it, or, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty advanced. I don't even know if I could. That the concept sounds cool, but I know that's not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that on the website as well. It's just we kind of encourage people to play within their own group. Like Amanda said, it's kind of a self-paced thing on your own time. It's not really designed for a big group scavenger hunt kind of thing where you need to prove that you found it. As you walk around, like, you'll know you found it when it matches the image on the card.
Right.
So you don't really need to prove it to anybody. You're not going to be like, "Hey, we're in the park. Here's proof I found." If you want to, you can always take a photo of it or yourself with it and tag us on social media. We'll be happy to like it and repost. I'm not worried about spoilers too much because usually by the time you find it, you're so close to it, no one's going to know where that is. Of course, our images are a little more complicated because there is no background, so you have no idea what's near that image. Like the one that Jason was holding, like, you don't know if that's big or small, up high or down low, and that's kind of the idea with every game in the pack, is that you don't know where it's going to be or where to even start looking for it until you start walking around, and that's part of the adventure. It's definitely an experience to have.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you ever put a photo or like on a card and put it in a pack, and no matter whoever buys the pack, you just get, like, tons of people just saying, "I can't find this one image." Is, like, just one of them ever been, like, impossible to find?
We have one that he cannot find one, and he is bound and determined not to scratch a hint or, reveal the hint or the answer. He's still searching. And then the thing is that if there's the difficult one that you can't find, and then you finally find it, now you can't not see it every time you go to the park.
Right. Yeah. Every time you walk by it, it's just like, that's the one.
I can't think of just one card that everyone has trouble with. I think everyone has their own unique card that stops them. So it's kind of
yeah.
It's kind
But
of
you're saying,
you're lucky when you find it, but there isn't anything that's super complicated with our games. Like, everything's out while you're walking around. You should be able to find it. Nothing is
And
impossible.
a lot of times too, you have, like, we always ask, our customers, like, tell us about your experience, and we follow up with them when we know that they're going to go on a specific weekend or something, and it's so fun to hear their reaction of, this particular card was impossible to find, or I thought it was in Fantasyland. Turns out we were way wrong. It was nowhere near Fantasyland. We spent 5 hours looking for it. So, like, it's just, it is dependent on how well you think you know the park, and how well you're already paying attention to those details. And so, yeah, some people are like, I know exactly where that is. And they go to it and they're like, well, maybe not. Okay. No, just kidding. I don't know where that is. And it takes them a long time. But yeah, people are determined not to reveal a hint or the answer. And it's like, I will find it. And definitely let us know when that happens. Because it's so great to go back to those parks and then just, put a little bug in your ear of, it's still there. We saw it. It's still there. Because they're like, it has to be gone. I can't find it. I've searched everywhere. No, you haven't. I've seen it. It's
And I would think that that kind of feedback is invaluable from the people that buy your packs. Is like, oh wow, we did a good job with that one. That's the kind of stuff we need to be looking for, or maybe even up your game a little bit for the next photos that you're going to take, right?
Yeah, like to hear the experience of, I renewed my pass because I still have cards to find,
Okay, yeah.
or
Wow.
I I go by myself and, riding the rides is fun, but this is giving me something to do and I look forward to going and I'm making it my mission to go because I'm finding these images. Or bringing the family closer together, or they do a divide and conquer and they're having a competition of who can find the most packs. Like it's literally however you want to play, and hearing those experiences and how they interpret the game and made it their own and we're adding value to the parks and by doing that as well. So it's awesome. It really is fulfilling.
Have you ever been to a park where you're just there for recreation or taking more photos, and you've looked around and you've seen people like doing this around, like has that ever happened to you guys yet?
We need more people playing while we're there. I think the thing is that we only go on the weekends, and I feel like a lot of people who buy our packs are people who go on the weekdays for some reason. So we haven't had that experience, especially at Disneyland. It's so packed full of people that it's hard to really spot someone. Whenever I see someone who I think is playing, like if one of our mobile versions of the game, like they're just on their phone. It's like,
Yeah.
we're so
It's hard to
lost.
tell for that. Yeah.
Everyone walks around looking confused.
Right.
Yeah, we do get called out though. We've had people say, "Hey, we're in the park. We know you. We played your game."
Oh wow.
And that's been fun. Or we have these sweatshirts that you cannot miss, that we wear, and we'll be standing in line for rides, and the next thing you know, we'll have a sale because they saw our shirts.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's kind of nice too.
Wow, like in park advertising, you can't do anything better than that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. That's and Disney fans, the people that true Disney fans that know who you guys are and stuff, like that's awesome to meet people, because you're kind of like park celebrities now in a way. I mean, if you're being recognized in the park and you've never really met these people, but they've seen you, whether it's online or maybe like, of course, maybe at a convention or something like that, which is where I met you guys before. That's pretty impressive. It's like, I think of like Dave at Fresh Baked, and everybody's like, oh, Fresh Baked, and everybody's always shouting out for him because he's got a distinctive look. You know who he is. He's on his videos all the time. And now you guys are getting recognized too. That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah. It's wild. It is just like, wait, us? Wait, what? And even at the last D23, we got stopped. And I was like, there are so many people here that are the celebrity people, and you're going to stop us. Like, what?
That's so awesome. You're doing things right. You are definitely doing things right then if that's happening. I'm going to go back to the audience a little bit. Mr. Odie Braden, my father, is in the audience today. And because this is Anything Can Happen Day, he says, greetings from Arizona today. Greetings from Arizona, period. Today is the day that is full of surprises. Nobody knows what's going to happen. That's true. Except for, my special guests and, of course, the trivia. But, I digress. Jason says, spoiler, our trivia zoomed in an image questions was inspired by your cards. So, yeah.
We're happy to inspire you.
They do great trivia, too. That's actually where I first met them, was on our last Disneyland trip. We sat in this like courtyard area of the Grand Californian, and they did Star Wars trivia on May the 4th, and it was all online, but me and Thomas was there as well because he works down there as a cast member for Downtown Disney, and of course Lisa was down there with me as well, and all of his crew. He had people visiting from across the pond. We had 2 friends from England that came to visit, and of course Steve was there as well. He was commenting earlier. This is him about the Jar Jar Binks. So it was neat to meet them and actually see the process, because I think Jason is the one that actually wrote the code to be able to do that trivia online. And I was like, wow, you did. That's pretty awesome. And eventually worked. It was awesome, but there were some technical difficulties that day, but I think it was just all Wi-Fi related. Nicholas Malone is in the house, says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. It's okay, Nicholas. You're never too late to join. It's totally fine. So when was the last park visit that you guys did, and where was it at?
We were at Disneyland, right? It was like
yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
On the 7th.
On the 7th.
So last Saturday.
So less than 10 days ago. I've lost all track
And
of
we'll
time.
be going, Amanda and I will be going on Thursday.
So speaking of the 7th, that was actually my birthday. So I celebrated a birthday back then. And it is also somebody else's birthday today, Kevin. So we're going to have a little birthday song for you here. Yeah. It's been a while since we had a birthday on the show. Happy birthday, dear Kevin.
Today is the day. It's true.
Happy birthday to you. All right. That's all you get.
So that's all I need.
I try to keep track of as many people's birthdays on the show as I can. Thomas has got one that's coming up soon, and we'll celebrate his birthday next Tuesday. But yeah, it's been a while since I had a chance to play that, and I was like really thrilled to be able to do that. So happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, what else do we got in the chat here? Let's see. Science of Amusement says, haha. Nicholas says, how would you like to have Jess Harnell on my show as a guest in the near future? I'm not exactly sure. Does anybody know who that is? No?
Bring him on, though. Is that he
Yeah.
or she? I don't even know.
I'm not really sure. Nicholas, if you want to tell me who that is, I mean, as much as we all know and love Disney, I don't know everybody, so I'd be happy to hear who that is. And if they are Disney related and you can get them on, then possibly let's chat.
Yeah. I see that he was Wacko from the Animaniacs.
Okay, perfect.
That does a lot of voice acting work.
It is. Now, if they've done stuff for Disney, then absolutely. But outside of that, unfortunately, I gotta pass. And these are those moments where I'm like, I need to pivot my show. I need to change it to just something different than Main Gate Magic and make it just general magic, because I want to get so many other people on this show that have never done Disney before. Nicholas also says, happy birthday, Kevin. Steve says, happy birthday. And so does Jason. You got a lot of people wishing you happy birthday there.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Did you do anything fun today? Did you have the day off at least?
Nope, I worked today. But again, we have so much fun on the weekends. It's not a big deal. We stay entertained all the time. So it's always our birthday, it feels like.
Ha! Wow. How special, but not true. So what was the visit like at the park 2 weeks ago? How was everything? I mean, I know there was a lot of scrim up. I know that they're working on the Matterhorn. They're doing something with the waterfalls and some tracks. What else is going on down there right now? Anything you guys noticed that was noteworthy?
Well, the 70th decorations are up.
That's true.
So that's always awesome. I mean, they're always doing something with the Matterhorn, so that doesn't surprise me. It's the season. It's all good. The scrim for the Golden Horseshoe is down, and it looks fabulous. Fresh coat of paint.
Yay.
And some new woodwork done. Similar to like what they did for Snow White's Wishing Well. There was some termite damage, I'm assuming, some wood rot. So that was all cleaned up. It looks fabulous. So that's done. But yeah, the 70th anniversary decor is beautiful. I'm loving it.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of fun. Cool. Very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had just put those decorations up, I think, near the end of my last trip, and I was able to get some pictures taken of the signs. Now, what do you guys think? I mean, have you seen like the different anniversary logos and colors that they've done in the past? What do you think of this year's? I mean, there's been a lot of mixed reviews. Some people going like, oh my God, it's so cool. It's very colorful. It's bright. It's like birthday cake color. And others are like, ew. What's your thoughts?
I think it's fun personally. I mean, it's not as classy as like the 50th or even the 60th, but it's definitely, it's lot of fun. So I think that's what they're going for, and I support it.
Yeah,
Amanda, Kim?
I think the 75th will be a little more classy, I would say. I don't mind it at all. I like the colors. I like the more of a new look. I mean, even the costumes for the characters are a little different that you wouldn't normally, it's not so straight-laced and, all that. So I think it is more of a fun look instead of it just being so stuffy. And I think they're just doing it in the meantime, gearing up for the 75th, honestly.
Yep. That's going to be a big one, I think. I think bigger than the 70th, just because of the 3/4 of a century anniversary. The rest,
right?
But yeah, for those of you who are looking,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I was surprised they've done as much as they did for the 70th. Because a few months ago, when we were discussing like what are they going to do for the 70th, I'm like, this isn't even when you have the 75th around the corner, who cares about the 70th? But they've done more than I expected.
We're still going to take the tour.
Oh, which tour?
There's a 70th anniversary tour.
Oh, no joke.
Yep.
What's but have you scheduled it at least? You got it reserved?
Yes.
Can you share with everybody are you comfortable sharing what the cost is for that? Because I've been on other tours before, like the VIP. I want to do the Walk and Walt's Footsteps. I heard that's like the best one so far. Is it, if you don't want to say the exact price, then if you want to just say like it's somewhere in between the Walk and Waltz and the VIP or greater.
It's definitely not the VIP.
No.
VIP don't have that kind of money yet.
Yeah.
It's your standard like $100 and something.
That's not bad.
It's discounted if you have your magic key.
Ooh, yay.
But we've done almost all of them. And it's always around it's either Amanda's birthday gift or it's Kevin's birthday gift. So This is for Kevin's birthday. It just happens to be July 13th because we want to have it before.
Yeah, we did the VIP tour for my 50th, so that was pretty cool. But I think I shared too much knowledge, and it kind of shut down our VIP tour guest or our tour guide. I think she kind of stopped talking after a few times. I'm like, oh yeah, and did you know this? And did you know that? And then she just kind of stopped talking after a while, and we just rode rides.
Yeah, I'm always worried about that happening. I mean, even on the regular tour, sometimes like we walked by and like the tour guide said something, I go to Amanda and go like, that's actually not true.
He does that a lot. Yeah.
Real-time fact check on that one.
And you brought up something that they haven't known too, so that's kind of nice. And then they're appreciative of it. At least they're schooled to be appreciative of it.
Yeah, exactly. They have to feign appreciation, maybe. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. Anyway, we're walking.
They always ask. They say at the beginning, like, if you have any questions, definitely let us know. Like, if we don't know personally, we can always, ping somebody upstairs and they can research it and get back to us. So we're like, oh, we have questions.
Yes.
We just give them all kinds of hardball questions. They're like, okay, let me ask. All right, let me ask that one too.
So is that you're doing that tour on your trip in September? Is that what you're going to be doing?
Oh, this is going to be in California. So I don't know. When is that scheduled for?
This is July 13th.
Oh, the September trip is in Florida? That's right. We were talking about that earlier. It's in Florida. Right. I forgot already. Back to the chat. Nicholas says that Jess Harnell was actually the voice of Brer Rabbit in Disney Splash Mountain. So that's a definite yes. So Nicholas, if you're on Facebook Messenger or you want to share your contact information on the side, please do so. I would love to be able to have somebody like that on the show. I actually met the gentleman who did the voice of Rod Serling in the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror for both East and West Coast at a convention, and I've been trying to get him back on the show, and I know he's subscribed to my channel. I've been reaching out to you, so if you're listening, I need to get your contact info so we can get you on the show as well. But yeah, I mean, anybody that has done like voices for Disney or animation or artwork or even a cast member. We had a cast member who is a magician now and did magic in the park just recently. Anything like that. It's all relative to Main Gate Magic. Jason says, I've been trying to get him on our show. He's friends with Chris Provost. He was a Disney. He has done Disney voices as well. And let's see. Jason's also saying with some big changes coming to DCA soon, there may not be able to have replacement images cards in the area. What do you do then? That's a good question. What do you guys do then?
Kind of like we did with Muppets over at Hollywood Studios. We're still going to find some images. There's still decor everywhere. So even if it's not in that land, because, I mean, we don't have a lot in that backside of the Hollywood land, the back lot, where they're going to be putting in Avatar, where they made that announcement.
Wow.
I think we have like probably one image back there, so we can replace that with the other side of Hollywood land. It's not a big deal. And then over where they're putting in Coco, we don't have anything over by that wall anymore. Right? I don't think we do. Yeah, so we should be fine as of right now. But
No.
again, the parks do change and we do update our packs accordingly. So if you do buy a pack a while after some changes have happened, we will give you new cards. But
awesome.
For now,
Yeah.
you can just scan and get the digital card instead.
Sweet.
Yeah, and we're always up on Disney news and just all theme park news in general. So when that is announced, like, oh, the closing of Grand Avenue and Muppets over at Hollywood Studios is announced for X date, we are already on our end finding those replacement images to then put on that scan before playing card. So that next day or the day after everything closed down, we got the confirmation like, yep, there's the partitions there. You can't walk into that plaza anymore. That scan before playing card was updated. So we're trying to stay ahead of the curve because we know the parks are always changing. So when we first came out with our games, we had images all across Disneyland, and within like a month of us officially launching our Disneyland pack, that's when Toontown went under construction for a long time.
Year,
so yeah, so we are well versed in replacing images due to construction. So, and then of course, if those images happen to come back after the construction is done, then we can update that scan before playing card and then the original card be correct. But again, when you scan that scan before playing card, it'll tell you why it's missing. So it could be currently under construction, behind construction walls, or this has been removed from the park. So yeah, and that's also how you can report to us. If you happen to find, you reveal the answer and you go over there and it's not there anymore, that scan before playing card, there's a link at the bottom to contact us and say, hey, card number 12 is no longer there. And we'll contact you back with a digital replacement right there. So
very detailed. Yes, totally. Do you guys have any competitors that also do scavenger hunts in the park, kind of like similar to how you do with cards, or is that not a thing?
Not on your own schedule. As far as we know, we're the only card-based game in town. We did make some friends over at the Rabbit Hole Adventures. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Where Rabbit Hole Quest. I don't know. Find out the actual full name because I feel like I'm butchering it. Where they make it's not photo based like ours, where ours is all image search and find. Theirs is more like riddles and games you play while you're in the park, based off of things that you can find in the park. So it kind of gives you like a play on words to get to an area. Then once you're there, you have to solve a puzzle. And it's a lot of fun. We did the California Adventure one not too long ago.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
And
So,
it is detailed based. Like once you go to that area that it's describing, you are looking at the details to solve the puzzle that is in the pack. So
sounds cool.
You have to be
almost
like
a riddled treasure hunt, a riddled Disney treasure hunt.
Exactly.
I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Neat. That sounds cool. Have you guys ever met them in person, like at a convention where they do the same thing and promote their site or their game or whatever?
No, they're
one Zoom call with them. That's about it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, they're just getting started. They have just
Wow.
a couple of games. They're creating their Knott's Berry Farm pack right now. Yeah, we had a Zoom call with them, and it actually ran across our feed as an Instagram ad That's how we heard about them. And I was like,
Oh,
what? I must explore further. And then I was like, that's really cool. And I reached out to him. So yeah, we had a like hour and a half long Zoom call and we were chatting. And then of course, after we played, we had we gave him the feedback and everything. So yeah, it's a lot of
excellent.
fun.
What's the official name of that? Like, does it have a
It
website on
is
that
you were
package?
right there. It's Rabbit Hole Quest Craft.
There you
Rabbit
go.
Hole Quest. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Rabbit
It is.
Hole
Yes.
Quest Craft. I have to slow myself down to think about it before saying, because otherwise it's going to come out dirty.
But yes, definitely check them out. They're a lot of fun.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about the Muppets, and we are still going to get to the trivia questions. I have 10 questions that are all multiple choice coming up very, very soon. But I wanted to ask y'all, how are you feeling about the upcoming reopening of the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, now featuring Mr. Walt Disney as well? Excited?
Yeah, I mean, I
Take that one
understand.
first.
All right.
Huh?
I understand
Honest
the
opinions. Honest
controversy.
opinions. Huh?
Personally, I'm excited to see it. I do
Uh-huh.
respect. I think Joanna Miller, one of Walt's granddaughters, is really against it. I understand that, and I feel for what she's saying. But hopefully, once it's open, it's so amazing that she can even come around and think. I think Grandpa would have liked that. That's what I'm really hoping that she ends up thinking. And I hope that I also think Walt will be happy that that happened. Instead of the current word coming out of like he's going to be or he would have been against it is kind of the way that she's advertising this, and I'm hoping that it's not true, that it's so well done that everyone's just going to turn around, just kind of like back when Lincoln came out in the World's Fair, where people were saying like that is grotesque that you would do that. Kind of her response to them doing that to Walt. People had that same viewpoint about Walt Disney doing that about Abraham Lincoln, but once it was out, everyone was like, actually, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's kind of the same vibe that we have with this one. We'll be
It's
in line for it. We're
already
going to watch it.
Yeah, it's already a hidden gem. I mean, I still like going to watch it, the Great Moments, Mr. Lincoln, even before they added Walt. I've never been to the Hall of Presidents in Florida. I've heard that's pretty amazing though, because they always add the new president every year and everything. But I cannot wait to see Walt in person, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's going to be kind of a spiritual moment for me personally, just because of all the inspiration that I've drawn from his ideas over the years, and of course, just visiting the parks and having a general love for Disney. Uh, all things Disney, movies, parks, music, everything that comprises it, everything under the umbrella for it. So I'm definitely psyched. We're going in. We're going back at the beginning of August, so it'll definitely be open by then. And remind me, when did you guys say you're going back to the Disney park? Is it going to be after that it reopens, or are you going to be?
We have it already booked to go on July 19th, I believe, but 2 days after
Mhm.
the anniversary, the birthday,
Okay.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Because that's the first Saturday afterward.
right. I bet you it's probably going to be really busy on the 17th.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah. I don't even know if I'd want to try to go there on a day like that. It'll probably be. I mean, I'm guessing they would probably hit capacity on a day like that, especially for another decade past the 70th anniversary. So, all right.
I
Well,
heard
cool.
that earlier today, the Magic Key like availability became open again for that day. So anyone who does
Oh,
want to go to it, who lives nearby, I don't know if it's still available, but like 2-3 hours ago, I saw on Facebook one of actually Terry Hardin. I think you know her,
yes, I do.
Imagineer. She posted about it. She's like, "Hey, everyone who's looking for tickets for the 17th, they just became available again. So if you have a Magic Key, go for it." So,
That's
but again,
great. Yeah.
we live just far enough away that we can't do it Thursday.
Oh no, that sucks. But yeah, Terry, I've been thinking about her, and I do want to have her back on the show again. Her show was like one of the longest I think I ever had. I think it ended up going like an hour and a half. And even then, I still didn't get to all the questions that I wanted to ask her for that particular episode. So I said, I need to have you back. And it's coming up on the 1 year anniversary, I think. So I need to start contacting her and find out when she's available to get her back on, because she is a great storyteller. Just
She's
an
wonderful.
amazing storyteller. So, all right, folks. Well, since we are about 15 minutes before the end of the show, we're going to go ahead and start doing some trivia. So let's see. Where's my little I am just all a fluster today and just okay, there we go. All right.
You learn something new every day.
And that means it is time for some Muppets Trivia Night. Yay! It's time for Muppets Trivia. All right, cool. So we've got quite a few questions here. I think I said I had 10 of them total. They are all multiple choice. And if you guys can follow along on the screen, I will also read them out loud for those who are just listening only, because I know that there are some out there that like to download the audios only, and I appreciate that. And they are all Muppet related, whether it's from movies or behind the scenes stuff, whatever. So here we go, guys. Question number 1. It's generally believed that the name Muppet comes from a combination of what 2 words? Is it A, miniature and puppet, B, multi-use and puppet, C, marionette and puppet, or D, mayhem and puppet? Now, if anybody wants to say their guesses on the show, we are also looking for answers in the chat for the right answer. Kevin, you want to say what you think
Can
it
we
is?
can we buzz in or?
You don't have to buzz
Answer is-
in.
I believe the answer is C, Jason.
C,
Marionette and
okay.
puppet.
Kevin says
Lock
C.
it in.
Amanda?
Right.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
Amanda, what do you think?
Oh yeah, C all the way.
All right, we got Expedition C saying C. Kim, what are you thinking? You think it's
It's
C?
absolutely C.
Patricia says C. And Kim, I'm so sorry that these answers are covering up your face. I apologize.
That's okay.
Jason says C. Yeah. If everybody that has guessed, whether they have guessed on the chat or on the screen here, it is definitely C. Jim Henson's wife, Jane, and this is like a rumor. I don't know if it's actually been proven or not, but people have said that his wife, Jane, is one of the many people who claim that Muppets are simply marionette puppets. So that's how they got their name. So,
Though I will agree with Jason that Animal would be also mayhem and puppet. I do agree with
yes, he is. Animal is definitely. Did he put that in the chat? I must have missed that. Except Animal, then it's D. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's a perfect answer.
You know, I've heard that Jim
All right.
Henson actually went against that, saying that's not what it stood for. But
yeah, and that's
it's
why
kind of unclear.
I kind of had to do some research, and that's why it says, is one of the many people
Generally.
who claim. It's a claim, yeah, and that's the general knowledge that it's marionette and puppet. So, believe me, I Google searched the heck out of that, and that was the general consensus. All right, so next question. What did Jim Henson use? And by the way, the reason that we're doing Muppets trivia, in case we didn't mention it earlier, is because they closed down Muppet Vision 3D in Florida, and also Rock and Roller Coaster at the Hollywood studio. Is it Disney Studios? Is what it's called?
Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Disney's Hollywood Studios is being rethemed to the Muppets. It's the Electric Mayhem, right?
Yeah, so they're moving down to the other side of the park, essentially.
Okay. So that's the reason we're doing Muppets. It seemed to be kind of like a big thing in the news lately, that and Monsters, Inc. closing at California Adventures. Boo-hoo. I'm really going to miss that. Yeah. So anyway, I chose Muppets for the trivia topic tonight. All right. Next question. What did Jim Henson use for Kermit's green outer layer on the first prototype for Kermit? A, is it a tapestry from his dorm wall? Is it B, his mother's coat? C, his sister's sweater? Or D, a green screen fabric? Guesses from the panel? Anybody?
B.
Oh, I know the answer.
Well, just say what your guess is. You don't have to say like, oh, I know it's this.
Yeah, it's definitely his mother's coat.
So B, Kim says B as well. We've got people in the audience. See, Patricia says B. Steve says A. And Jason says B. Well, those of you who guessed B, you are absolutely correct. It was his mother's coat. And I don't think it would have actually been a green screen back then, because I didn't think they did green screen back then. It was blue screen. Yeah, I think it was all blue screen back then. I thought they did.
Kermit's pretty old. I mean, they have Kermit in like black and white. So
yeah, I threw that in there just to kind of, throw people off, because green screens didn't exist really back then.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Which Muppet is the only one that utilizes actual human hands? Amanda loves this one. Is it A, the Swedish Chef, B, Big Bird, C, Sweetums, or D, Animal? That sounded too much like
I
Arnold
know
Schwarzenegger.
it's the way I cook, so it's definitely a Swedish chef.
A Swedish chef, Amanda.
It's
She's actually-
fantastic.
she's
I'm doing the hands.
Everybody want to do the Swedish chef opening song? The bork. Yeah,
It's pretty
love
good.
that. Thank you so much. Okay, so Steve is saying A, Jason is saying A, Patricia is saying A, and for those of you who have guessed A, which is pretty much everybody, that is absolutely correct. Yeah, because of the complex hand movements, the Swedish chef was one of, I think he's the only one that actually has real hands. Yeah, all the other ones have felt hands or just the rod and felt hands that are guided. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I know they've said that like it was kind of on accident, where they didn't realize that they did it until after it aired, and then
Oh,
they're
really?
like, it's fine. We're just gonna have them like that for now on.
It works, but I mean, it's because he's always dealing with like stuff in the kitchen, like he's got food and everything that he's like real food. He's tossing around sometimes, like lettuce and tomatoes.
Doesn't need to
and
have
stuff.
that good of dexterity of it, though. He doesn't hold on to it for very long.
I know, but it kind of helps to be able to grab it and then at least throw it because it doesn't stay in his hands for long. Patricia says there is an awesome book about Jim Henson called Make Art, Make Money that I recommend to everyone. Thanks, Patricia. That's pretty cool. Have you guys ever heard of that one?
No.
No? Okay.
Definitely check it out.
We'll look it up.
Signs of Amusement says Cookie Monster is you count him. I'm not sure exactly what that means. No, we don't count Cookie Monster, if that's what you mean. Cookie had puppet hands. Yeah, but they were real hands
were
underneath.
used, but yeah.
Right.
But you couldn't
a lot
see
of
them. Yeah.
A lot of Muppets actually had like technically like real hands inside the puppet's hands or the Muppet's hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the only ones that were like human hands were the Swedish chef. Another one that I have to slow down on. All right, next question. Let's get out of that trap. What feature has always been optional for Muppets? Is it A, clothing, B, hands, C, feet, or D, heads? I don't even know why I put D in there, but I think every Muppet has a head at least. What are your guesses, guys?
I think there might be Muppets that don't have hands, but I believe the answer here is A, clothing.
Okay,
clothing
Amanda?
is optional.
And most of them don't have feet either.
Yeah, Kermit's naked.
Kermit's
Okay.
naked.
Kermit has
but-
not always been naked though. Kermit has worn clothes.
But it's optional.
It is optional. Like when he does the Muppet News, you know,
Yeah.
he's wearing his little like, you know, he's got his fedora on and his trench coat and tie and everything. All right, so Patricia's saying A, and Expedition Steve is saying A. Patricia says C, feet. That I would have thought it might have been feet as well. That was kind of put in there to throw y'all off a little bit because the answer is actually A, clothing. You guys got it all right. Muppets can be either clothed or not, and it's not always consistent. So, like you guys said, you know, like Kermit's a perfect example, right? He's au natural at some points, but then there's other times where he is wearing like a tuxedo or, you know, he's wearing his little news reporter outfit or whatever. So, yeah. All right. Question number 5. The Muppet Show skit that featured an astronaut, Miss Piggy, was called what? You guys got to know this one. I know you know what the answer is. The options are A, Space Bacon. I love that. B, Star Pigs. C, The Adventures of Piggy Not, and D, Pigs in Space. What's the answer, everybody?
Well, C is my favorite out of these options, just because like Piggy Not is just fantastic. But it's Pigs in
space. Yeah. Let's see. Steve says D. Jason says D. Patricia says D. Well, guess what, guys? The answer is, of course, D. Pigs in Space. I probably should have made these questions a little harder considering my my audience.
They're great.
You guys grew up watching the Muppet Show at all? You miss it?
I think I was too old. I think I was too old for the Muppet Show. I don't know about Kim down there. Did you watch the Muppet Show
I watched
at all, or
it.
no?
I watched it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You said you were too old for the Muppet Show?
I'm sorry. I said old. I was just not old enough, I think is what I meant to say in my head. So
Oh,
it was just like it was out just right before I was born. So
okay. I was going to say, because you are never too old to watch the Muppet Show.
I've gone back and rewatched Muppets, but I didn't watch it when I was little. But I watched like Muppets when it came out on different like formats. Obviously, I watched Sesame Street, but
of course, yes. Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching Sesame Street. I even had my kids grow up watching Sesame Street. I didn't really give them a choice, but it's how they learned stuff. They learned the alphabet, with Sesame Street. They learned how to count to 20, watching Sesame Street. So there's so many fun things. Jason says Muppet Babies. Yeah. I never watched Muppet Babies. That was a animated show, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not an actual Muppets.
No, it was animated, but they look like the Muppets, and they actually came out with it again like a few years ago in like computer graphics. So I didn't watch that one, but I watched the old one in like the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I would love for them to bring back the Muppet Show. I can't imagine there wouldn't be any celebrity that wouldn't like to actually be there on it, because they always had a special guest. Like almost every show had a special guest. I would think that would be something that people would be clamoring to be on. Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, have tried to bring the Muppets back a few times, but not in that format, and I don't think it works as well in different formats. So
yeah, I don't either.
Kind of inspired by The Office. I don't know what they're thinking with that one.
I saw that.
Had a few little shorts on Disney Plus. They had a few shorts that were fun, but it just didn't have that same magic as the full show.
Yeah. Even the movies that they did, like Muppet Haunted Mansion, they were cute, but I mean, I wasn't like as thrilled about them as say like the Great Muppet Caper or the Muppets Take Manhattan or the Muppet Movie. All the original ones that I grew up on. Those ones were amazing. They were funny. They were whimsical, and they were meant for adults and kids alike. Nowadays, I mean, the new one, the Muppets, the one that was just titled The Muppets, that was really good. I liked that one. That was a good way to reboot the Muppets movies in general. But I think anything after that, I was just kind of like, it was all right.
Yeah, the Most Wanted one after that didn't really have the same magic as the
Muppets. No, with the Kermit imposter, I wasn't a big fan of that either.
That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Question number 6. The Muppet Show, which ran for 5 seasons beginning in 1976, speaking of the Muppet Show, was produced in what country? Was it A, the United States, B, England, C, Canada, or D, Australia? Guesses on the panel?
I know it's not Australia.
No.
I know exactly where it is.
You do?
You guys know? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was in England, not in the United States. It felt like it should have been.
Kevin's guess is B. And I do say Kevin's guess.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I feel pretty confident about it.
No, I'm not just joking. Amanda, what is your guess?
Yeah, originally I thought Canada, but I do believe it is England.
Okay. Kim, what's your thought?
I agree with England.
All righty. Let's see. We got Steve saying it's C, and Patricia says D, Australia, and Jason says C, Canada. Well, for those who guessed C and D, you are unfortunately incorrect. The answer is, of course, as Kevin said, B is in England. It was primarily filmed at, I'm going to try to get this right, ATV Elstree Studios in Borehamwood, Hertfordshire, England, specifically Studio D. And yes, that is a fact. I looked it up online, so it has to be true.
There you go.
And I didn't even realize, but it was actually originally it aired in England only, like in Europe, and then eventually was aired in the United States afterwards. I don't think it was originally made for the United States, but it was later, I guess, brought to the U.S. That's what some of the facts
very
actually
American.
Said. Yeah. It does,
yeah, when
doesn't
you watch
it?
those old episodes, yeah, it doesn't feel British at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, but they did everything in the studio out there, so I guess it was only aired out there for a short period of time. Whoa, what happened? Did you guys hear that?
I heard it. I don't think it's me, though.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Not it.
That was weird. Okay, we're going to call that the first glitch of the show. Hopefully the last one, too. All right, question number 7. What is the name of the head scientist at Muppet Labs? Is it A, Professor Mellon, B, Dr. Bill? No, Dr. Bill. No, just kidding. Is it C, Dr. Barker von Hammerschmuck? I have no idea where the hell that came from. Or is it D, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew? This one's a pretty easy one, kind of a no-brainer for most. Let's see. Wait a second. Is this a recent answer, Jason? C. Dr. Barker von Hammersmock. He says,
I mean, that is a good answer. Don't get me wrong.
it is.
I like
It's
It's a
kind of
great
a
name.
great. I don't even know where the heck that answer came from.
We're
Steve
using it.
says D. Patricia says D. And yeah, you guys are absolutely right. The answer is D.
100%.
He is the head scientist at Muppet Labs with, of course, his wonderful assistant, Beaker.
Beep,
Me. I love Beaker. Okay, if I have to choose a favorite Muppet, it's a toss-up between Beaker and Animal.
Mhm.
They're my two
Mine
favorites
is-
in the whole world.
Mine is Fozzie Bear. 100%.
Fozzie Bear! Ah, waka waka. Now, did he make his debut on Sesame Street, or was it only the Muppet Show? Do you know?
I want to say he predated Sesame Street. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right.
Not
I
positive,
wasn't quite
but I'm
sure.
pretty
Yeah, because I know a lot of Muppets. Well, not a lot, but there were a couple of Muppets that originated from Sesame Street and then hopped over to the Muppet Show. But yeah, okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Question number 8. We got 2 more to go. What is the name of the bass player in the band Electric Mayhem? Is it A, Sergeant Floyd Pepper? Is it B, Janice? C, Animal? Or D, Zoot?
A.
Hey, all the way.
We got A. Kevin?
I'll go with A too. That sounds right.
Kim?
I mean, I don't know their
A.
names though. Well, I know Janice
A.
and Animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
It's
Janice
alrighty.
is the singer, Animal is the drums, and Zoot is the saxophone player.
All right. Steve says B. Patricia says B. And you know what's really crazy? When I was doing these trivia questions online, Janice was my original thought of the answer as well. I thought she was the bass player, but it is actually A, Sergeant Floyd Pepper.
Janice
tribute-
plays the guitar.
Yeah.
She's the lead guitarist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I had pictured in my head was, her always looking down like this, right? And I
Yeah.
never pictured Sergeant Floyd Pepper. I couldn't picture like what his instrument was, and I think I got him and Zoot confused. So that combined with the whole Janice thing, I thought it was her at first.
Yeah.
But as a tribute to the Beatles, the bass player to the Electric Mayhem was Sergeant Floyd Pepper. So just like Sergeant Pepper, yeah. So
yeah,
fun trivia.
yeah. I want to
stuff.
look
All
up
right.
that artwork they did for the Rock and Roller Coaster to see what instruments that they're holding.
Oh, are they
Yeah.
holding all their instruments?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to relook at it after that
I
question.
would hope so.
Google,
I don't know.
Google it. What movie director got his start as Jim Henson's? Oh, I forgot an S on there. See, Kevin, I needed you to proofread this before I started.
You didn't show it to me. It's true.
I know, that's my fault. So what movie director got his start as Jim Henson's right-hand man? Is it A, John Hughes, B, John Landis, C, Frank Oz, or D, Steven Spielberg?
I believe
Should
it's
be an easy
Yoda
one for you
himself.
guys. C, you say. All right.
100%.
So let's see. Jason says
Mr.
C.
Oz.
Patricia says C. Everybody, I think, on here is unanimous that it's C.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's C. It's Frank Oz. He got to start performing as Muppets such as Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Grover, just to name a few. But Grover was actually on Sesame Street, was not on the actual Muppet Show. Not as far as I know, he wasn't on the Muppet Show anyway. I don't think they ever did a
Oh.
crossover with him.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so. Yeah. But he's done many, many voices. I mean, and yeah, of course, Yoda outside of the Muppets, but a puppet nonetheless. There's that noise again. Thank God we're getting to the end of the hour because I have a feeling my computer's about to blow up.
Oh,
All
watch
right.
Oh, no.
I know. Last question. Of the 8 theatrically released Muppet films, which one grossed the most money? Was it A, The Muppets, B, Muppet Treasure Island, C, Muppet Movie, or D, Muppets Most Wanted? And we're not talking like to date. We're just talking about like at its time of release, basically. This one's kind of a toss-up, I think. I don't know. Might be
Yeah.
easy, might not be. What do you guys think?
I'm definitely between A and C on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
It's not Muppets
Uh,
Most Wanted. I know that for a fact.
So just
I'm gonna say C.
okay. And for those who are wondering the difference between the two, The Muppets is the one that came out like what, 6 years ago, something like that,
Probably longer.
maybe longer. And then the Muppet Movie was like the original Muppet movie. So, like the very first one that I think ever came out.
This question adjusted for inflation, or is it just like dollars at the time?
Gee, I don't know. Let me bust out my calculator and do some more Google searching. No, it's not.
Because I would say
I'm gonna go
probably
with
the Muppets that came out
C.
more recently, but
Yeah. Steve
I'm gonna
says
see
C.
original.
Jason says C. We don't have any other guesses, I don't think, unless Patricia. Oh, Steve says A, B, C, D. Yeah, you got it right, Steve. Congratulations.
All right, Steve.
Patricia says
how to work
B.
the
I think.
game.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn
All
it, they
the
found
above.
my loophole. Yeah, the answer is A,
Oh.
The Muppets,
Nice.
grossing
Oh.
$171,802,998
Wow.
worldwide.
Let's
So, yeah,
adjust it for inflation on the first Muppets and see who won then.
Okay.
Come on, Jason.
You go ahead and do that and then rewrite another question, okay? Until that time, why don't you guys, that's it for the trivia, guys. Thanks everybody for participating. That was a lot of fun. So before we go ahead and close out, why don't you guys tell everybody where they can find all the stuff for Where in the Park and where they can find you? Because I know you guys actually travel in a few circuits like here and there at certain Disney shows. What's your next show going to be?
What is our next show?
I'm guessing
DF
MouseCon in Concord, or is DFC
November.
We have the
before that?
DFC. We have the DFC
November,
Expo
okay.
in October.
Oh, okay.
They're near each other.
We have Bunny Fest in San Diego in September.
What's Bunny Fest?
But I think
It's
yes,
a
they're
little convention for rabbits.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit down in San Diego. And Kevin and I have a rabbit, and Kim has a rabbit, so we support them
Like a pet rabbit.
every year. And we order our supplies from them, and we've been a vendor, either a vendor or donated to their raffle several years in a row. So
I could never visit there or your house ever because I am allergic.
That's why we haven't invited you over.
Animal.
You're not going to eat them, Jason. You're not going to eat them.
I don't mean eating them, Kevin. Wow, you went to the dark side there. Holy cow. That was horrible.
No.
Where's Andrew tonight? I don't know what's happening. I'm representing for him.
I think actually he should be home. He was in England for a good week, I think, week and a half or something like that. He had 2 conventions out there. One that was a charity event for Maggie's House. Is that what it's called? I think it's called Maggie's House. And then the other one was for just a regular convention called Snot Monkey Convention Con or something like that. I love the name. So awesome. Yes, Jason, no Lucky Rabbit's feet for me. No, I would be sneezing my head off all day. And then, of course, where can we find your wonderful little card packs? Tell everybody where they can pick those up from.
Absolutely.
You can get them at our website.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a delay apparently. You go for it.
Oh, yeah, it happens sometimes.
Go for it. Go for it, Kevin.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. All right. So you go to whereinthepark.com and just go there and you'll see all of our options. Again, we do more than just Disney also. So if you go to other theme parks, including Universal Studios on either coast, everything's in the US though. We don't have any of the international parks. But we do have Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags Magic Mountain. We even have Great America up in Santa Clara. Busch Gardens over in Tampa Bay. And SeaWorld on both coasts as well. We don't have SeaWorld in Texas yet, but we do have photos for it. So as soon as Jason moves out there, we'll have the game ready for him to play.
Yeah, because that is actually in San Antonio. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll have to go there and check to make sure our images are still there.
Right.
Yes.
I might actually get a pack for that. Yeah, because that's something that I know Lisa will be coming with me too, and because she loves going to animal parks and stuff like that. So that's cool. They got coasters there.
Oh yes, they do.
Yeah.
There's also not far from actually it's also like right there in San Antonio. There's also Fiesta Texas. It's another Six Flags park that's beautiful. So definitely go over there and check it out. I don't know the number of roller coasters, but they definitely have more than 3. So I called that a park with coasters.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I love it when they put roller coasters in animal parks. It's funny.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
You can also find us on our new podcast.
Your new podcast.
Yes, we have a
Where
podcast.
do you guys stream from?
Anywhere
Wherever you stream podcasts.
wherever you stream podcasts. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, all that kind of stuff.
Name it, yeah.
Oddly enough, the same place you can find Main Gate Magic. Isn't that great?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So if you're listening to this right now, you can also listen to us at We're in the Park podcast.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
You guys the only one on there?
As far as we know.
Cool.
Yeah. And if you go over to our website, we'reinthepark.com, and use code MainGateMagic, all one word, you get 10% off.
Sweet.
Well, we created a code just for this show. It's a pretty bold
yeah.
of us. I like this.
I think you did it the last time too, and yeah. And you guys asked me what the code was going to be, and I'm like, wait, what code? I don't understand. It took me a while to piece it together, but I get it this time. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging in for a little bit more than an hour and taking some time out of your busy days to grace me with your presence and tell us all about your amazing company. I really do love hanging out with you guys. You guys are so awesome.
Thanks, Jason.
We're happy to be here. You're a lot of fun too.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate that. I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but I appreciate that.
That seemed a little bit like
a little bit, yeah. But you know what? I do that to everybody at the end, so you're not super special after all. So,
no, it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun hanging out with you. You know, we've hung out at conventions, we've hung out at the Disney parks and had dinner, and went on Tower of Terror and all the guest Guardians. But yeah,
right.
Over at DCA. So yeah, we've hung out many times.
We have.
We go way back.
Always a great time. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate you being on the show. And for those who didn't catch it earlier, find Main Gate Magic on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and of course, all of the audio shows that we mentioned earlier for Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and the Podcast Network as well. Hope you all had a wonderful time. I really enjoyed the show. Thanks, everybody in the audience, for joining again and being a regular and sharing all the magic with us. Really hope to see you all next week. And until then, enjoy your evening. Take care. Be safe. Love y'all. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another fun-filled episode of Main Gate Magic. We hope you enjoyed the show. It's been our pleasure bringing a little Disney magic into your life. Please remain seated while the show comes to a complete stop, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. For more information about upcoming episodes, please make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You are now free to exit the show. Please watch your step, and be sure to tune in next week for more Main Gate Magic. Bye-bye.